Hey, let me know if you think we're crazy. It's the last day of January 2025, just before 8 a.m. A strong storm is moving in and it's raining. The water temperature, about 37 degrees. The air temperature is right around freezing. The four of us are here for a cleanup dive. Part fun, part mission. We expect to pull out plenty of fishing debris along with some other trash. Except for the coldest winter months, this jetty is usually packed shoulder to shoulder with fishermen trying to catch fluke, striped bass, blackfish, and some other species depending on the season. With the freezing temperatures here in New Jersey, we're all wearing dry suits and the thickest insulation layers we have. Between the gear, tanks, and weights, each of us is carrying at least 60 extra pounds on our backs, making the entry into the water extremely treacherous. It's hard to tell from this video, but these waves are bigger than they look. One misstep and you could easily get knocked down or worse. Because of that, we're taking our time getting in, and the biggest danger today isn't sea life, cold temperatures, or the passing boats, it's this initial entry into the water.
Beautiful.
John is going in next, trying a different approach than Chet. He straddles a rock and waits for an incoming wave to gently carry him in. After watching both Chet and John, I decide to go in with a different strategy. If I can get in far enough, I might be able to just jump in for as long as I clear the rocks. Chet, John, and Chris are already out of sight, and I don't have to go more than a few feet before spotting a bundle of fishing line tangled around a broken fishing pole. Because of the cold, I don't want to spend a lot of time untangling the seaweed, so I just push it straight into the top of the cleanup pail. A lot of what we removed could have been down here for months, or possibly a decade. Every strand of fishing line and every snagged hook has a story. I'd especially love to hear the ones that describe how a reel or entire fishing rod ends up at the bottom of the inlet. Lately, we've been finding a lot of rod handles, so if you have a story about losing a piece of your gear, please let us know in the comments. People love to talk about their biggest catch, or the one that got away, but rarely do we hear how a reel completely falls apart and sinks to the bottom. Getting this stuff into the pail should be easy, but the surge keeps tossing me around, making it tougher than expected. The maximum depth here is only about 20 feet, and being this close to the jetty means that every swell rolling down the inlet rocks us around. Now that I've got this lid on, I'm using the front flap to try to feed in more debris. This is only my second time using this cleanup pail, so I'm still figuring out the best way to utilize it. At first, I thought I could just feed the fishing line straight in, but I didn't realize that it reaches endlessly through the rocks in different directions. There's also this long, sharp piece of wire that needs to go in the bucket before it punctures my suit or gloves. Since this tangle's been down here for so long, most of the hooks have dissolved, making it less likely that I'll get snagged. With the large amount of people fishing here, I'm really not surprised by the strings of line running in every direction, but trying to feed this all into the bucket is becoming a tangled mess. Next time, I'll remember to position the pail's handle differently so it doesn't block my opening. That's definitely making this harder than it needs to be. There are two questions we get asked all the time. Did you see any fish, and what do you do with any usable gear? At this time of year, we rarely see fish. The only marine life we usually encounter are crabs, and occasionally we'll see a blenny or juvenile blackfish. As for the gear, we sort it, clean it, and then sell anything usable at the annual Point Pleasant Fishing Flea Market in February. I'll leave the details in the description below. This is how the rest of the dive goes. More line, feeding it into the bucket, repeat, repeat, repeat. So I'll let this footage play from here without too much commentary. By the way, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments and we'll get to answer them as soon as possible. you see that speck of blue metal that looks like a Bud Light can? That's what I initially thought it was, but it turned out to be a complete fishing reel that has obviously been down here for a while. We try to repurpose or refurbish anything that still has life in it, but unfortunately this reel is too far gone. That is Chris off in the distance. He was about 10 feet away working on the same line tangle I was from a deeper location. If you made it this far, you are only seeing the first part of this dive, but unfortunately the camera battery cut out. What you missed is that I completely filled this pail with about 45 pounds of fishing line, trash, and sinkers. It was so full that I couldn't fit anything else in it. By the end of the dive, I was far away from the exit point, and the current was rapidly increasing, trying to take me out into the ocean. I used the lift bag to help carry it out, but it took a lot of work to safely drag it out to the exit point. Earlier I spoke about the entry being the most dangerous part of the dive, but it was actually the exit which became the most dangerous. Overall, a great dive in very challenging conditions. Thanks for watching.